Hello, friends. Namaskar. Good evening, and welcome you all to another enlightening episode of Revival Sutras Sunday. यहाँ हम बात करते हैं about getting your mind, body, and spirit all aligned through spirituality, self-discovery, and more for your holistic well-being. I am your host Sangeeta, an Oracle healing therapist, a spiritual coach, and the founder of Arcade Universe. And it's my pleasure to be your guide on this transformational journey. Welcome you once again. आपने शायद ये सुना ही होगा, laughter is the best medicine. Or as Charlie Chaplin said, a day without a laughter is a day wasted. Or as Charles Dickens said, that there is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. But did you know it can actually be a powerful tool for healing and for your holistic well-being? स्ट्रेस को दूर करने के लिए या मूड को अपलिफ्ट करने के लिए लाफ्टर का असर कमाल का होता है। आज के एपिसोड में हम जानेंगे कि कैसे हंसी आपकी सिचुएशन को, आपके मेंटल स्टेट को और आपकी ओवरऑल वेलबींग को एंड लाइफ एज ए होल को बदल सकती है, और क्यों ये आज की स्ट्रेसफुल लाइफ में इतना जरूरी हो गया है। Let's discuss this in more detail with today's guest of the evening, Mr. Ranjit Sanyal. Ranjit is an IT professional, a soft skill trainer, and a passionate comedian who has this special skill to make people laugh while laughing at himself. Hello Ranjit, I'm so happy and excited to have you here today. So, आज आपसे जानेंगे how laughter can change one's life and bring some holistic well-being in one's life. So, what do you think?
Yeah, hi. So nice to connect after a long time, first of all. Yes, so definitely, yeah, laughter can, as the old saying goes, that laughter is the best medicine. And it is. While growing up, we didn't realize that staying happy is also a task. And now that as you grow up, you think that you do certain things and you will be happy in life. But now that you realize that staying happy is also a full-time job. Not everyone, it cannot be possible with everyone. And yeah, so I think therapy, if I say, then people laugh regularly in their life. Some people don't, you know. So I think that a lot of healing can be done through laughter. If something of something that is old that is stuck within you, something of a memory, something bad that is stuck, you can always laugh it off. They say laugh it off.
Yeah, I
Nowadays we
strongly
use.
believe myself like it's like laughter, like doing it any comedy really serves as a kind of therapy, as you said, and it's like a magical way it can heal someone. So yeah, absolutely. So I think, as you
Yes.
said, happiness, like it is a task now as we grow up and we realize that happiness पे भी हमें काम करना है to bring our happiness in our life. That is like consciously काम करना है, I would rather say, like which we took very lightly and which can be another like medicine to live a better life.
No, I was saying that हाँ actually क्या होता है कि बचपन में या you have these standards that you set in your life कि ये करेंगे जॉब मिलेगा, you'll pass out with good numbers and हो जाएगा, you'll get a good package and but वैसा होता नहीं है. When you reach there, you see that the daily turmoil of life is like too much to go through, or every day life churns out a lot and तो लोग ऐसे आजकल इसलिए बहुत ज़्यादा young kids are going for therapy. Therapy is like it is a very normal thing now, like people taking therapists, consult therapists. So I think that it is overall what I feel is that earlier there was pressure, but now with online, with the online information that is flowing with us, and that constantly the mind is active, the new idiot box is your phone now, right? We are
Yeah,
constantly on our
exactly.
phone and watching. So I think with that constant information, I think we all need a break from something. It can be a retreat, it can be a therapy, it can be just sitting with your friends and laughing it off, or just having a good time. So I totally believe that, yes, true.
So, how do you think, like, if we use laughter as a therapy perspective, it कैसे differ करता है from other traditional, therapeutic methods, like?
Uh, see, therapeutic matter different. I wouldn't because I don't know the other therapy methods, like what are the regular therapy methods. But what I can see is that laughter will be something very instant. What I realize, so even I think even if you meditate and we all meditate. First of all, it is very difficult to get into the state of meditation. There are so many ways to do it, there are so many processes. But when you are laughing off, let's remember you're having a school reunion, I think, or with friends that you can really be yourself. Those people, when you just do not have any consciousness what you have to speak and how you have to behave, uh, you are the best person at that moment. you know and when you are laughing and you're just sharing stories, or something of a very old story that has been repeated like 10,000 times, but you still at a particular moment you laugh it off. So I think that, and that is therapy. When you do a certain session like this, if you have a reunion with your friends and when you come back home, you really feel so good and so happy within yourself that you feel connected to yourself. So I think from my perspective of therapy, I would say that that is a kind of therapy that I would like to look forward to. And I have my friends in Pune, we do connect very often. These are my school friends, and we really really look forward to these days when we
I
meet.
think that is a distress therapy, I would say, like, if someone is dealing with some emotional issues or anxiety or something. So that way one can de-stress the things, जो laughter can be. So,
uh,
so how do you think that laughter, when it like, how it affects the brain or body? Is there any connection of physiological level?
Yes, of course, of course. We say all these hormones, the happy hormones, dopamine,
Yeah.
endorphins, they get released, and definitely that's a instant release that happens. And there are a lot of other, like we see laughter clubs. Older people, they get into a park and they do fake
Yeah.
laughter. The great part about laughter is that the mind doesn't recognize whether it's a fake laughter or a real laughter.
Oh,
So yeah, so it will just behave as if you fake laugh it off, it will release its endorphins what it has to release. I know that
okay.
there are meditation therapies, like Osho has one in which you have to be a kid. Like, if you get into the meditation hall, you'll see that people are running around like kids. They are just they're just doing activities like a kid, because a kid doesn't judge anything when he is laughing. He is just laughing. Like, if you see a baby, it is just a very small baby has only two modes, in fact.
वो
Either it's
नहीं
laughing or
सोचेगा
it's
ना
crying.
लोग क्या सोचेंगे if I love, can I love?
Yeah.
Condition नहीं होता है, like if I should love so much or not so much.
Yes, exactly. I think that inhibition that people hold on. So as a comic, also, you'll always find these different kind of audiences also in the crowd, which is some people are very stuck up. Uh, they will, they come to a stand-up show, but they will laugh it off. They will laugh in some a very controlled laughter.
Hmm.
Uh, they don't laugh it off like that very easily. Uh, I think it happens with people of different classes also. Like, if you, like in a train, if you go, like, when you're traveling earlier, we all used to travel in sleeper class.
Hmm.
Like, if you go to a sleeper class and you'll see that the audience or the people over there are so mingling that, people are sharing jokes, they're sharing food also with each other, they're laughing it off. Then we slowly upgraded to the third AC. You'll see that people are a little reserved over there. They are not that, they are not mingling that much as they in the. And then when you come to the first class or the second class, you'll see that people are very isolated and they are in their own job. They don't want to interact with anyone. So I think that, I think that, you put a guard to yourself also. A person might behave like, I a person, if I'm traveling in a particular class, I might behave in a different way. And when I'm just upgraded myself to a first class or a second class, I will not be the same person. I will be like, okay, let's not
So, do you
interact
mean
or
sophistication के साथ like laughter reduces a bit?
yes, 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 of course it does. Laughter, it reduces because you're not yourself. You're always pretending to be someone, and that is very bad. So I think in office parties also you will see people like, they will always be that person with not बॉस के सामने ज्यादा नहीं हंसना है, ज्यादा जोक नहीं करना है, और
Lot of conditions like applied.
हाँ, हाँ, और या तो फेक करना है वो.
Hmm.
पीपल ओवर डू इट, लाइक बॉस क्रैक्स अ वेरी सिली वन एंड यू विल जस्ट गो, अरे बाबा क्या जोक मार दिया. तो so it's always that way. So yeah, so coming back to that thing about therapy, I think definitely it's a very instant relief of endorphins, dopamine. All the people that try to take it externally, like, so I've got a back issue now, but I have been running also. I used to run a lot earlier. So
Hmm.
running is also a very quick way to get happiness. Whenever you do a physical exercise, you'll always see that you'll feel post which you're feeling happy.
Any
And
physical
that is
exercise that
because
I think like
hmm,
hormonal gets
exactly.
released and your body
Yes.
and your own self gets happy.
Hmm.
So, as you do a lot of comedy shows, so what are things you keep in mind? Anything that लोगों को हंसाना है? Do you think कि ये इस पे लोग हंसेंगे कि नहीं हंसेंगे? Do you put that kind of conditions or something like guardrails on that?
Definitely. Like, I don't do personally political content. Something I always do humor on myself only. Something that has happened to
Yeah.
me. But I don't know if people know that. Also to brief about, like before me only doing stand up, I used to think that people just go on stage and talk about that. I think, I don't know if your audience is aware. So stand up is a very rehearsed art.
Hmm.
Whatever videos that we put in whatever you see, that joke has been tried and tested at least like 20, 30 times in front of an audience.
Oh.
So yeah, so it is a very, it's like, how do we do riyaz, like for
Hmm.
singing, how you do riyaz, right? So we do a riyaz in open mic. So every like a prominent city like Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, all these places have open mics. So an open mic is basically where a new comic or an old comic or a tenured one, everyone, that we just try our jokes. So it's like, so I have an open mic today in the evening. I have certain jokes that I have done in a few past open mics which have worked for me, and I've written a few new of them. So today I will go and do. So everyone gets a 5 or 10 minute slot only in that. If you are a very new comic, you get a 5 minutes on stage. If you are an older comic, you get 10 minutes on stage. That's the difference. But the audience and everything remains the same. You know, so we go ahead and try those jokes. We record it in our phone audio, and then we come back home and we listen to the joke which we got a laugh. And if we have got a laugh over there, then we put on more jokes to that. We call that tags. Something we add on to that, and then we build up, and then it becomes a set. And that is the video that you guys see on YouTube or some.
Hmm.
So I think I just wanted to brief about stand up also, because I think a lot of audience might not be aware that
Yeah.
because I before doing stand up, I used to just think that people just go on stage and they just start blabbering out, and it becomes like what we see in YouTube. But that's not the case. It is a very rehearsed art.
Would like to don't know just stand-up comedy. Oh yeah, like different comedy shows. How it differs, as you say, a lot of rehearsals and a lot of process of like thoughts goes beyond before coming
Uh-huh.
for the performance. So, do you like also think like it can help in dealing with certain stigma in the society or something that can also help in standard comedy if like people will be receptive to that?
Yes, I think the audience is growing now. What we can see, there is certain things which you couldn't say earlier. now people are saying it and also putting out videos for those things. I think definitely people, the audience is also growing. Like like it's like, even if you take for music, uh, there was a typical particular kind of music we all used to listen to. Now people are expanding their uh, yeah, their taste. People have gone to, few people are listening to rap now. There's rock music, there's so many kinds. So stand up also has a variety. The great part is that the audience that comes for a particular comic, like I don't know if you, like, let's take a popular one, like a Zakir Khan, who's very popular, who does a kind of a family oriented jokes. But there can be a very the same audience can come for a very other type of a comic, might be Gaurav Kapoor or someone else, who does a very different kind of joke, not a very family oriented jokes,
Hmm.
but the same audience is getting replicated because they love stand up. They love sitting and listening to jokes. Uh, to answer your question, do I restrict my material, or do I think that it can cure a stigma in the society? We are seeing that, slowly and gradually we are seeing that. Like, even if you follow the Kapil Sharma show, for an example, which is a very popular show, if
Yeah.
you see that show, that show from Kapil, from a TV show, they have gone to an OTT show. Uh, it was on Netflix last time. And in Netflix, when you see the show, the jokes have crossed some boundaries which they couldn't do it in TV. If you Have you seen the show
Not
on
yet.
OTT
No.
net? Okay, so if you see the Netflix show, there are quite a good number of non-veg jokes.
As you says rightly, like in a like a media point of view, of course TV audience and digital and Netflix and OTT audience differ a bit in kind of their mentality or habits, or like their background, or also like their thought process. There are a lot of difference in the TV audience and today's digital audience, or say OTT viewers.
TV also has a big censorship. No, you cannot. OTT doesn't have a censorship, so you cannot put a lot of things. Even if
Yeah.
you are fine with it, but you cannot. They will get it censored. So I think that freedom they got it. So if you
That
see a
is some
person like
relief and
him,
freedom for the OTTs to show whatever they.
yeah, that's what. And I know. And slowly, if you see the audience in OTT also nowadays, earlier I had a reel recently, I was sharing that galia ghar pe ghus gayi hai. Like, earlier it was our parents had like never heard people abusing like it, but that is today very natural. Like, if you're seeing TV or something on OTT, a
Hmm.
series or something, there can be a very prominent lead character like Pankaj Tripathi or Manoj Ajpai can come and abuse on the screen, like, can give a gali. So I think the audience is growing in every way now, that is getting accepted. I have watched certain series with my mom, and there have been abuses, like a full-fledged abuse on the show. And I think earlier it was awkward, but now it is absolutely fine. I think the audience is
Yeah,
getting
today's
maturing.
whatever, not only about the comedy shows, but जो भी other content है, उसमें भी there's so much of adult contents and all, like people are watching with entire family, and I think that way society and mindset is a bit changing in a way
Yeah,
also.
exactly. It is getting accepted. How much you cannot control the thing also, not to how much can you control it? To an extent, everyone is hooked to a reel. Everyone in the family is watching short videos on YouTube, Facebook. I think, uh, yeah. So
So much of
it
content
is.
is floating that you can't
Yeah, yeah,
control and restrict on the watching of those content.
yeah.
So,
Exactly.
what do you think? How does laughter contribute for, healthy way of aging or maintaining a positive outlook as we grow old? Because जैसे हम बचपन से बड़े होते हैं, फिर हमें lot of conditions होता है कि इतना मत हंसो, इतना ज्यादा जितना हंसोगे उतना रोओगे. All that things, belief systems are put in our mind, and as we grow older, as you say, we become little sophisticated and we are conditioning ourselves. Okay, ज्यादा नहीं हंसेंगे, we'll stay quiet, we'll control our, we don't be free and we don't be ourselves. And as we grow old, like फिर उसके साथ वो मायूसी kind of all that uh, sadness comes, takes over. So how if we apply this laughter as a part of daily therapy and daily our wellness routine? सो कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है टू बी अ बेटर एंड ग्रेसफुली आई से एजिंग में?
So I would start. Have you read this book called Ikigai or heard of this book called Ikigai?
इकिगाई, या
It is a very popular one.
यस.
So we have, yeah. So Ikigai, it always says that find the purpose of your life, and so the center purpose is definitely there, and then there is uh, happiness, which is a byproduct, you can say. If you do the thing that you like, then it becomes a byproduct. The happiness become a byproduct. And if you see, we have these I think blue belt or red belt people that they call that they live for more than 100 years. So Netflix had a documentary on that, and I've seen that documentary. So especially there is a place in Japan and there is a place in Italy. One of the common things that came up, that the people over there, first of all, they don't believe that age is a thing to restrict yourself. Like that अगर आप बूढ़े हो जाओगे तो आप कम काम करने लगोगे या आप में एजिंग आ जाएगी, like they don't have that belief only. And the other thing is that they enjoy doing everything by themselves, like whatever activity they do, they enjoy it. Like it can be farming, it can be making a table for themselves, like some furniture work. So I think that these people, or these people who have lived for more than 100 years, they it's a very big example that how in their day to day life, they just take everything with happiness, and they don't believe that if you get old, then you should restrict yourself. Like they don't have that belief only. That in Italy, so it was very weird, the person that I saw. First of all, geography also plays a little bit. These places are little in a hilly region, so the daily lifestyle is always like walking down the hill, then going to a church, which is a daily exercise for them. And the people that I saw over there, they don't believe at all that age can get wrinkles, and people of 70, 80 years, they haven't got a single wrinkle in their face, just in that
Wow.
belief that they have, that age doesn't restrict them. And they say that we laugh off everything in life, like like they're just having good time with their family, like they're
Oh,
laughing and talking in the back, and they're just drinking wine. And so yeah, so I think it contributes to a very big part of your life, you know um, uh, so yeah, so conditioning, I think it is all about conditioning. The more, the thing about what you said is that that people restrict themselves, और मत ज्यादा मत हंसो, ये सब लोग जो बचपन में सुन के आते हैं ना, फिर वो बहुत ही stubborn और stiff लोग होते हैं, like which we see in offices, or people around, what we see very stuck up with their thoughts. Yeah, so I think that that's what I would love to say, that you have to in it is a daily practice that you just have to make it.
as you say, so as my as my spiritual mentor in Buddhism, he said make the smile as the cause for happiness and not the product for happiness. So that way, it is like you there, I think the example you have shared, like they are creating laughter and they're creating the cause for their happiness, and that's how they are enjoying their life. They're leading a life, they're not growing old in a distress way. So they're actually enjoying the aging also.
Yes, yes.
In a way, like as we have discussed, laughter is important for mental emotional health. Can this also contribute for yeah, relationship wise, to for a healthy relationship, maintaining or building a healthy relationship with yourself or with others? Any kind of relationship
Yeah,
can be like.
definitely, definitely. First of all, see, people, those who like for me only, like I first of all, the acceptance within yourself, like if you are not have not accepted yourself. So we as comic people, we do a lot of self depreciating jokes, lot of, in fact, I almost whenever I go to a new audience or someone having catering to a bigger audience, I at least do 10 minutes of my self depreciating jokes, and that is the easiest way to get laughs in comedy. Because the audience gets like a dubier thing, like, if he's laughing on himself, then just if, like Charlie Chaplin is the biggest example
Yeah,
that he has shown,
exactly.
you know yeah. That is one of the things that accepting yourself and laughing it on you, taking the jokes on yourself. So I think if you are laughing on yourself, then means that you have a good relationship with yourself. Your self awareness is good. You are you can laugh it off with people amongst yourself. And then in relationship, always, if it's a couple or if it is pure family, parents, whoever you're living with, if you do not have a common joke banter that is going on with your family, like, if that is not happening, then you will again, the family is also stuck up, like, like I and my mom, I do a lot of jokes on her, and so she has been living with me, and now she has accepted it. So, and she also gives it back to me. So I think that should be a constant thing, like, whether it's a couple relationship, or both should be able to take a joke on
I
themselves,
think,
and if
yeah,
even if they're
humor
interacting
is
it.
an essential part, ingredient, I would say, for any relationship. And also,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
just not personal relationship, but even in office, even in like a
Hmm.
professional life. I think that humor also helps in creating the bond between with the boss or the team. So I think that way, relationship में help करता है कहीं तो, like to bring an essence on that, because we all are human
Definitely.
beings after all. Like, we are not dealing with machines, that we are dealing with emotions.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. It's how it depends. Like, if you see, there are certain bosses that everyone is happy with that person. Everyone is happy. Everyone wants to give that extra. No cribbing on overtime. Everyone is just doing because he is the person who keeps the thing intact, and he is a cheerful person. Like, he gets on with the team. He is someone you just think as he's a part of the team member. And you'll see, on the other hand, a boss tells you to do overtime for 5 minutes, and everyone on the team, अरे इसका हमेशा का रहता है यार, ये हमेशा बोलता है, and there is this entire backbiting and this bitching, and this it starts off.
And
So yeah,
yeah,
definitely, I think
absolutely.
so.
Because I can connect with my own experiences like that way. Like, it's so also it is like at times easy, as as this helps in creating the bond with your teammates, and it's easy for the boss also to get the work done
Yeah, yeah,
and happy
yeah.
way.
Also, I do like, I would also now connect a little bit of generation thing over here, which might sound, I don't know, correct or incorrect. So if you see our generation, we used to make a lot of fun about things about people, like, uh, I don't know. There can be a very thin line about it. Like, we have called a short person a short, and it was very fine, acceptable in the society. But now it is like a very no thing. Like, you cannot say to a very close person. Also, you cannot say something which is insecure about him. So it was good earlier. It was very acceptable earlier. Now it is not at all. Like, you have to be politically correct in that, which in a way I think, I don't know, it can be, it's a very thin line. Like, if certain person does it to an extreme end, then it can sound as bullying also. But if the person is taking it in a right way, then I think then you grow up as a stronger person
Yeah.
at
In
the
case
end.
it is not
You
a
become strong
bullying
person.
case, in case it's not intentionally done, but if it is done in a very, humorous way and is casual way and as a friendly way, that is different thing. And I think that for acceptance or receiving also depend on the person. As you said, like, you make the jokes as I've seen your videos is absolutely crazy and it's like very much humorous. So it's difficult to crack joke on yourself when you are doing that. Means you are living your life, boss. You are free, you know who you are, you are carefree and you are living freely, so nothing like that. So अगर आप खुद पे हंस सकते हो, like, life is okay. It's like जो भी हो जाए, I think it will not affect you, your emotional health or your mental health that way. It is seen in a better scale, I will say. कि दूसरे चीजों पे हंसना एंड दूसरे लोगों पे हंसना या समथिंग सिचुएशन पे हंसना, दैट इज आई थिंक इजी, दैट इज अ काइंड ऑफ रिएक्शन. But when you're cracking joke on yourself, that is again is like a, you're doing consciously and you are know, you're aware and you're accepting it. And when you're accepting it, I think happiness begins in that point. So
Yes, yes. I have never taken myself that seriously. I think we are just it's yeah. So yeah. So never it was, and I know our I don't know our friends were very much brutal. Like I think in our generation every guy a person who's overweight उसको हम मोटा बोले ही हैं, and he would be like तेरे बाप का नहीं खाता हूँ, and it was like a very healthy banter between us, like
yeah.
and ऐसे बहुत होता था, ऐसे बहुत ऑन द फेस जोक्स होते थे.
So I would like to know what made you like from IT to like a passion for comedy. What made you come to like make this kind of this beautiful shows?
Accidental, I think so. See, I still work actually. I that should also go as like I'm not given up work. I do work with this. So stand up is something of a very weekend activity now. So as I mentioned about the open mic thing, so we go to mics on weekends and we do our jokes. The recording bit that you see, all the videos that you have seen, this is all recorded in Mumbai. It is a place where we go. It's called Habitat. There's an H at the background. You must have seen that in a lot of other videos also. Poetry and stand up and a lot of other things. So we go ahead and record there. I started off. So I think digital stand up was just picking up at that point of time. Like we had seen a couple of videos of I had seen a Zakir Khan video. NDTV used to shoot some videos, and they used to it used to come on YouTube. I think the introduction to India as a stand-up was Laughter Challenge,
I
which
think.
was in 2005. Right? I think we had all seen that and we had all gone over mad. We remember almost every set of Raju Srivastava at that point of time. And I used to do it in front of friends in a like a Saturday session and all, like and not like standing up and doing it in a thing like like a performance. It used to just come like in the flow only, like and people started recognizing me also that I remember his every bit like to the detail. But then got to life happened in Mumbai in 2012. I think I'd seen the first stand-up show, which is like our format of stand-up, which is the digital stand-up, which is like if you see this very big content of YouTube is stand-up comedy now, and that was there's a place called Canvas Laugh Club. There used to be a place in Mumbai, in Lower Parel, in the famous mall. What do you call that? Palladium Mall. So I once went to watch over there, and someone said there was a person who was talking that Monday ko kaisa hai, kya kya kya. So I just got quizzitive and I started asking him what this guy was asking. He said me that this is for an open mic. I said, what is an open mic? He said that आप भी आगे परफॉर्म कर सकते हो, आपको 300 रुपए देने पड़ेंगे. मतलब किस
देने
कैसे देने
पड़ेंगे.
पड़ेंगे, तो
Okay.
उन्होंने हाँ देने तो we pay to perform by the way. हाँ, that is
Oh,
again a hidden thing. We pay to perform. Yeah. There are a lot of, we buy spots, we pay to perform. It is like how people go for music classes and all. We pay for to perform. Only when you become a senior and a tenured comic, then you don't pay. Otherwise, you have to pay and get a friend also by the way to watch the show. It like
you have to get one audience.
people, yeah, one audience like plus one we call it. It's a very common thing in stand up, plus one like so thus kaise to I took the email ID and all and I just mailed it to the person. I remember the date also. It was 27th of September. They gave me they told me that you have a spot in our place, and like it is one of the biggest, and it used to be one of the biggest and one of the best clubs in India, where I've done my first open mic. Like it is like a proper auditorium, like a 300 seater auditorium, you can say, where I went and I performed. Of course the first one doesn't go good because I was not a person that who has done theater in childhood. So people have become a tree or a frog or something you do right in your childhood. I was into sports but I've never been on stage. I always had that stage fright, but just wanted to try it out. And once I tried it out, things started keeping falling on my place. Like, I just came to know in that place I met a person who told me that we have a mic tomorrow at Malad, and I was staying in Malad at that point of time. The restaurant that he told me, I was 2 days back. I was in that restaurant. I said, "What? In that restaurant there is a open mic?" That is, yeah, there is an open mic. I said, "No clue, yeah, nothing, never knew about it." Then again, so just walking distance. So once from Malad, I went to Lower Parel, and the very next day I just walked up to an open mic, and I saw that people are doing it, and I saw a comic there. I realized I saw a comic the previous day in Canvas who did the same jokes, and then he did the same jokes in that restaurant also. So then I understood, okay, like, he knows where the laugh is coming, because he had a perfect pause in that time. So then I understood, okay, it is a rehearsed art, people do it. And then slowly, gradually, by doing it, I realized it works like that. So yeah, so accidentally you can say it happened.
So accidental comedians, so I would say. So, but how? But for so long you are doing it now. We started accidentally. So, what inspires you to do this and continually adding, one after another? So, what made you do this?
See, I think for a stand-up comic, I think there is a one criteria from your childhood. There can be other reasons for other people, but one reason for a person is that you always wanted to be looked up on as a funny person. So now that I look back my career and my life, things are like making sense to me, because I was the funny one in the class. I was the funny one in every group. I always like wanted to be like the funniest person in a group of set of people. So I think that should be your need. If that is your need, then you will not then you will keep on doing it whether you fail or pass. Like for running also, people just run. There is like a lot of people tell me, if you see, it might sound very stupid to people that you pay to run a marathon, right? My friend was only telling, तू 5 बजे उठता है, इसके लिए तू पैसे देता है, और फिर तू एक मैराथन भागता है. It would sound so stupid to a person, right? But that makes very much sense to a runner. Like, that is the ultimate happiness to us,
And it
because
has a passion
we love to
is
run.
important, ki what you're passionate about. So all comes from their interest area.
Exactly. If you just love to do it, then you don't have to find in senses in that. उसमें मतलब मत ढूंढो कि किस लिए करते हो, क्यों करते हो, क्या करते हो. Yeah, so we just do it. Like, that's what it is.
So I'm sure you must have received a lot of feedback or compliments on after your shows. How does it make you feel? Like, have you got any such kind of feedback or some kind of experience that someone has told you how it helped them? So कैसा होता है वो feeling?
So I'll share the bad experience also. First of all, it is not always a great night also for a comic. There is a we call it bombing in our terms. Bomb हो गया मतलब comic bomb हो गया मतलब उसके jokes flat चले गए. Now certain thing that is funny in your mind might not be funny to the audience.
Yeah.
Audience is laughter is a contagious thing. हम लोग ऐसे जैसे once the first comic goes ना, everyone is very reluctant to go the first, because हम लोग बोलते हैं room अभी गर्म नहीं हुआ है. Like once the room gets heated up, then you'll see that everyone back to back is getting laughter in that room. So the first one might be a slaughter, bakra halal jaisa, like he goes and he bombs, and he does a little bit of some old jokes, and he just warms up the room little bit, and then the next comic goes, and then the next comic goes, and the rooms keep on building. And we have seen at the end, we also keep the last acts to the best, like the best acts at the last. And you'll see by the time he comes, the audience is already in a laughter mode, and they're just going mad over every joke. So but that doesn't happen every night. You can be the first comic, or it can be the 5th or the 6th also, but audience अच्छी नहीं थी, तुम्हारे jokes अच्छे नहीं थे, something that you thought it is very funny, but when you tried it off, it is not that funny. So we have horrible nights also. Like it can be in a packed room of audience, you didn't get a single laugh, and you come very sad also home.
That might be disappointing.
Yeah, because
performance.
Yeah, because it took time to think about this entire set, and you thought it was funny, and kuch nahi chala. Or so बहुत सारे कॉमिक्स क्या होते हैं, बहुत कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं अपने सेट्स करने में, जो करते रहते हैं ना वही फिर वो लोग, बिकॉज दे गेट अ लाफ, सो दे बीन डूइंग इट फॉर अ ईयर नाउ, दे डोंट चेंज देयर सेट ओनली बिकॉज दे डोंट वांट टू ट्राई अ न्यू टेरिटरी, नया टेरिटरी ट्राई करने में डरते हैं, एंड दैट इज व्हाट
जो चलता है
इन
उसी को
एवरी
चलाने
फॉर्म।
दो टाइप्स।
हाँ, जो चल रहा है बस अभी मैं बन गया, अभी इसको ही चलाता हूँ। तो आर्ट तुम्हारी तभी फैलती है जब तुम रिस्क लेते हो, you know, when you want to go to the unknown territories and you want to try something dark, when you try something insecure, then only full fledged artist, right, है ना? तो वही है। दूसरी बात है कि टॉकिंग अबाउट द पार्ट दैट यू नो आई गॉट अ फीडबैक तो बहुत आते हैं, मतलब इफ so when we are recording shows, so we don't keep an inch also of a gap, we do a very packed set over there because that is going to be put out to the audience ना, उसको edit करके हम YouTube में डालेंगे, right? So in those shows, like you know, when we are having like a 20-minute or a 15-minute back to back laughter, so I did one in Mumbai recently. Good days, so definitely you feel elated because I was coming out, as I mentioned that you know I was doing this recording show and I was coming out in car, and as I stepped out, there is a guy who ran towards me and hugged me tightly, and he was like, "अरे यार, तूने मेरा दिन बना दिया यार." I
वाह।
said, "अरे भाई," तो he was like, "मेरा बहुत ही बुरा दिन जा रहा था ऑफिस में, ये वो, मैं जाने वाला नहीं था, लास्ट मिनट में बोला चल यार कुछ देख ही लेता हूँ, and it was his first stand-up show, and so something like this, you know, something like this of a feedback when
Yeah,
you
that
get,
was so
you feel very
inspiring or
happy.
motivating, I'll say.
या सो वो बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है, यू नो, when people come and appreciate your work and they say that you really made me laugh, or they whatever, they come and take a selfie sometimes, they click a picture or something like that, they congratulate us, it feels really good. In fact, if a show good, you know, sometimes to get our appreciation, we you know, in Pune where we do shows regularly, there is a particular place to park the bikes, it is outside the building, like you know, it is a place, and then there is so bikes, when we say, the comics also keep their bikes over there, and the audience also picks up their bikes or cars, whatever, from there. So you will see that, you know, a comic whose client has gone very good, he will be sitting on his bike purposely, because you know, after the show the audience will come over there and they will tell you like, अरे आपका तो बहुत ही अच्छा था, तो
Oh,
people just they will show that you know they are doing some work over here or checking their phone, but वो मन के अंदर रहता है कि वो audience आएगी और उनको वहां पर बोल appreciate करेंगे, you know, and it happens a lot when there is like a mixed night, like कोई अच्छा किया कोई खराब किया और तुम्हारा बहुत ही अच्छा गया था, you know that you just destroyed the night, so the audience also remembers you, like you know, उनका
definitely. Huh.
मतलब they remember you because you gave the maximum laugh to them, so वो लोग आके बोलते ही हैं तब उस केस में, when you're sitting on your bike, अरे we were looking for you post the show, and so they appreciate and you feel really good about it. I think appreciation, everyone loves it, no matter what you are doing, everyone loves appreciation.
Like, it must be very motivating for the performer also to make give their best for the next show when someone really appreciate, and it seems like it is helping the person, as you said, that guy said कि आपने मेरा दिन बना लिया, so that must be a good feeling, like you are being a contribution to someone's life to from, you know, transforming a bad day to a good day. So that
and you know, to talk about different kinds of art forms also, like if you watch a play, you will clap at the end of the play only, right? But a stand-up is the only thing in a live show where you get the feedback instantly, like you crack a joke, the audience is laughing that time only, like you know, or it is applauding that time, you know? Yeah, poetry also it happens, people snap and all, they do this chutki and all, but a laughter cannot be forced. The best part is that it cannot be involuntary. If the joke is funny, then only you will laugh, you know. So it is a very instant thing. We don't have to wait for the end of the show to know how the show went. अगर audience हंसी तो show अच्छी है, अगर नहीं हंसी तो घटिया है.
So as you said, like as you mentioned, that guy who came with a bad day, I think whoever goes for the comedy shows may or may not have certain kind of, you know, challenges in their life to deal with. So they come with different people comes with different mindsets. So I remember we went to watch this movie Dhamal, and we were crazily laughing throughout the movie, and there was a guy sitting next row, and he was completely with the blank face, no movement, not a single smile we observed on his face. And we are wondering, are we crazy and why he is not laughing? Like, as you
Hmm.
says, like, सब कोई नहीं हंसेगा, सबके लिए सब कुछ शायद
हाँ.
not, not working. Like, it was really, we are finding it very crazy. How can someone not laugh at such a crazy
Hmm.
comedy that movie is full of? So yeah, that happens. What do you think? Like, people comes with different problems and challenges. So humorous way make, how can laughter help in to deal with their life's challenges in everyday?
So I think humorous way. The first thing is that the mention you mentioned about this particular audience person, like he might consider that as a slapstick comedy. People don't laugh on slapstick comedy, and a lot of people laugh on any kind of comedy. So I would like to say that first of all, in your life, don't take yourself to be too serious. Like, don't take yourself only seriously. In this world, people who take themselves to be too serious are the ones who are very stuck up in their life. And yeah, so it can be enjoying is the everything. Why people sportsmen or all the, because they enjoy that a lot. The person who enjoys their sports, they are the best sportsmen, they say. So I think just not take yourself seriously, and do whatever you do with the full enjoyment. And also that gives you a little focus on life. Otherwise you just overthink, and you just keep on thinking about what will happen, and what are the things, what is the outcome. Do not take yourself to be too serious. Just be there in the moment, and yeah, do your thing with utter joy. That's what I would say.
So, do you think laughter as a, like, as a therapy, it has been used, and a lot of this comedy? What is the future, the scope you see for a person's like well-being? I'll say how important it is, and how much scope it has to for the therapies to deploy it in the right way.
Okay. So, see, when you say therapy, therapy has to be something on a very regular basis. As a person who is very stuck up, uh, I would say that that person can start off with fake laughter. Something that there are a lot of YouTube videos where there are laughter gurus also. I have seen that they inculcate a thing about laughter. I recently saw a reel also when there is this lady who's forcing the person to laugh, laugh with me, and at the end of the thing, where after watching, you'll also see that you're also laughing at the end. Uh, so laughter is very contagious, and you should just just not judge anything when you're laughing. That what is the thing that I'm laughing on? This is not a thing to laugh at, or something like it at the end, if you're not crossing the boundary, and you are laughing on, it can be a slapstick comedy, it can be a movie, it can be a person slipping on a banana peel. Like, it is such an old comedy that we have seen, right? People falling, and people slipping on banana peels. But a lot of people would say that, "Arey, this is not a thing to laugh here. It is very kiddish or very childish." So removing that boundary is very important. That what are you laughing on? It can be like
किसमें हंसना है, किसमें
uh,
नहीं हंसना है, again
हाँ,
those
किसमें नहीं हंसना.
conditions.
तुमको नहीं भी हंसी आ रही तो चलेगी, बट तुम किसी को जज मत करो अगर उस पे वो हंस रहा है.
Yeah, judging is
लाइक हाँ, जैसे कनेक्टिंग, जैसे certain things of our age people can't relate, is that there is a thing called dark comedy now, and these kids, they do very dark jokes. I have heard also. I don't laugh on those, because जो भी रहेगा मेरा मेरा whatever is my upbringing and whatever is my mental condition, but I don't judge them also. It's that is their comedy to do, that is their taste to do. जैसे if you listen to very, supposing you are listening to Himesh Reshamia music, you know, people might look down upon you know, अरे ये क्या सुनता है ना? Someone of a person who's listening to a classical music or something, he might look down, look. But that is what in laughter also. You shouldn't. He is enjoying that music. That's his music. That's his music to enjoy,
Yeah,
and
I think Himesh
that
Reshmi or
is.
many other like is I think what is going and working for you may or may not work for the other person. So it's like that way you
Ah.
can take it. So अगर होता है accept करो या तो नहीं तो just let it go.
Hmm.
I think that way. So, do
Hmm.
you think laughter can also like help to deal with your not only emotional, like in physical health, maybe physical pain, maybe people can like this laughter therapy as a therapy can help to deal with physical pain, emotional pain as well.
Emotional pain to definitely.
Yeah.
Emotional pain to definitely
Someone
it
with
will
dealing
go
with
through.
physical pain also, I think, and laughing it out may help. Or what do you?
Yes, yes. I don't know anyone who has done this in life. Like I haven't met someone that who has done a laughter therapy and got cured of some physical pain. But definitely, like happy hormones or the endorphins or dopamine, whatever we say, that definitely heals you. Uh, heals you from within as a person. Uh, there are meditation conditions where, or things like pranic healing. uh, I don't know you are into what exactly, but I'm just saying that things like pranic healing and all, when they do these things, these are all energy based things, right? They cure things with
It's energy
by
healing.
energy healing, so definitely it can be done. I don't know personally anyone has got treated like this, but it must be there on internet something, someone who has got rid of some pain or something that was stuck up for a very
There
long
is
time.
a scope, I think, because the reason I wanted to know from you, like, since you deal with a lot of audience who come and love and they share their feedback or their compliments, how
Hmm.
they felt good about, about after how they felt good after the show,
Hmm.
after watching
Hmm.
the show. So how
Hmm.
their mood changes, or you have made some kind of
Hmm.
whatever
Hmm.
little bit change in their life,
Hmm.
in their mental state. So that way, I see a scope of laughter in extensively can be used in a lot of therapies, and that experts can tell, of course, the better way. In this way, any uh, any idea you want to highlight how this laughter as a therapy, where it originated, through a light on
I
this?
think from the time people are born, they are crying and laughing, right? Till from the time humans are there, and we know that jokes have been written in. There were people in darbars whose job was this. Like Birbal was one of them. We know whose job was to make people laugh. Then slowly and gradually, people saw it in dramas and all, where people used to enact, and there used to be these funny people. Then slowly movies came in. You see earlier there was these characters like Popatlal, Asrani, Mahmood. They were primarily just comedians. Their job was to come in the movie and punch the audience with some comedy punches. There is, I have heard that Mahmood used to charge more than movie stars as a movie fee, because I think, and that's how laughter is there in the society. Because when you see a loving movie, when you see a laugh, your mood completely changes when you come out of the
Yeah,
theater, right?
making someone
You,
laugh is a tough job. Like,
yeah,
between,
exactly.
yeah.
It is there since ever in the society, in history. Certain people take up the job to make people laugh, and certain people just want to be the audience. Whether it's movie or whether it's stand up or whether it's a play. Uh, so, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So that's how, like, I think, as you rightly said, like in those era where like there was all these kings and all, like Birbal, who was it was a it's a part of our culture of Indian culture. If I see like that way, like keeping a comedian in the all that Rasava. So it's kitna important था कि that time also people felt the need of laughing, need of
Hmm.
that staying happy or that kind of creating the positive vibes is so important. And that way तब से वो आ रहा है. So maybe like generation wise वो change होता गया, but that was there, is so ancient.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Like how do you think an individual can incorporate humor and like comedy in their life and to deal with emotional or any kind of healing for which they need? So
I I
watching.
think that if you
And
a
how can
simple
someone
way.
laugh at oneself as you do it so beautifully? So from yours, you, I would like to know, खुद पे कैसे हंसे? How would like,
वही मैंने पहले से बोला ना कि अपने आप को इतना सीरियसली मत लो तो यू विल बी एबल टू लाफ एट योरसेल्फ. पीपल टेक देमसेल्व्स टू बी वेरी सीरियस कि मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ. बस तुम कुछ टाइम बिताने आए हो इधर, और आई थिंक जस्ट टेक दिस प्लेस एज अ रेंटेड प्लेस दैट यू आर देयर. And yeah, so I think if you just cut off your boundaries like that, then you will not take yourself that seriously, and I think you will be able to laugh at
how
yourself.
you make yourself laugh? Like,
How I make myself, I watch a lot of content. In fact, in the comics, we watch it as a. I don't know if I'm a very good audience or not if I sit in a comedy show now, because वो क्या हो गया कि अब it is not like how you guys see comedy, we see the comedy. That is one of the what is the sacrifice we do in our life. Earlier, when I was non-comic, I used to enjoy stand-up videos a lot. Abhi, you try to analyze the joke, whether it's a thing,
no, okay.
whatever. Like, you try to become like
The technical aspects again
हाँ वो आ जाता है.
concerning your laughter.
But in shows and all, are not like that, because recently I've been watching this Shits and Creek. Have you heard of this show called Shits and Creek?
No, no.
You watch shows or anything? Friends, have you seen Friends?
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
think
so
we grown up with friends.
uh, so I found that show, like in that the writing was that great. It's a show on Netflix, so I was really laughing on that show. But when I see a stand up, I become a little judgmental. What I see, yeah, little judge. Not on the also in that have boundaries, like not on the ones that I follow or I appreciate, or the ones that I look up to. Those people I don't. But a comic who's like who's of my tenure or something, I see a video, I become a little judgmental. But that shouldn't be the case. I think I should be able to laugh it off as you guys.
Yes, I think you have to start laughing more. And that's the way we can share the message to laugh it out. So, wow, it was absolutely a wonderful discussion. I would say I have enjoyed myself a lot discussing laughter with you. So thank you so much for sharing your views. Thank you so much for coming here today and contributing to Revival Sutras.
Thank you so much. I think it was an ongoing thing for a very long time. You wanted me to come on this. It was there in our cards for some time. I think I finally got this freedom to connect and talk about this. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. सो फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने लाफ्टर की पावर को एक्सप्लोर किया. लाइफ में जितनी भी चैलेंजेस हो, थोड़ी सी हंसी हमें उनसे लड़ने की पावर देती है, क्योंकि हंसी ना सिर्फ आपकी हैप्पीनेस का सिंबल है, रादर मैं बोलूंगी ये एक टूल है टू ब्रिंग हैप्पीनेस इन योर लाइफ एंड कैन कंट्रीब्यूट टू योर ओवरऑल हीलिंग एंड फॉर योर होलिस्टिक वेलबींग. I would say it's not wrong here to fake it till you make it. So खूब हंसिए और खुल के जी भर की जिंदगी को जिए. और कैसा लगा आज का एपिसोड हमें जरूर बताइए. Do show your love in like, comment and share. आर्किड यूनिवर्स को फॉलो जरूर कीजिए for all the future updates. मिस्टर रंजीत सन्याल से कनेक्ट करने के लिए नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिंक दिया गया है. डू डीएम हिम फॉर ऑल योर क्वेरीज. So with this note, I take your leave today. मिलते हैं next Sunday with another interesting episode to contribute in your journey. Till then, do take care of yourself and keep laughing and keep living better. Good night.